Yes, YouTube. This your boy TK20, the Caribbean gamer, and welcome back. What I have for you today, guys, it's the Discover Tour mode from Assassin's Creed Origins. And while many gamers play games for fun, enjoyment, entertainment, and meeting new people, I'm feeling very happy and proud to see that there are a few who play games for historic purposes. And this is where Assassin's Creed Origins comes into play. So you've beaten the game, you've got 100%. Yes, most of you are not gonna pick it up, but I'm here to encourage you guys to go back and try the Discover Tour mode. And I think Ubisoft did a great job in implementing all these historical factors from way back then. Yes, we know the Chinese invented paper and so forth, but let's take a look at how the Discover Tour mode in a video game is very helpful. Let's rock, check it out. So guys, if you do decide to take a look at the discovery tour of ancient Egypt, this is basically like your HUD, your heads up display of where you can go, what you can do, and so forth. So you have a bunch of characters that are already unlocked, and you can choose between any one of them. So right now we have Cleopatra, we have Julius Caesar, and Aya. You know Aya from the story campaign. We have the original bike that you start out the game with from the beginning, and you have William, Miles, and Layla. This is from the Anonymous, yeah. And then as you go down, you can choose different types of people and so forth. Remember, Reader, he's the guy, the merchant guy who sells this stuff from the chest. And you have a Roman soldier, Greek nobleman, Greek noblewoman, and so forth. So if you get fed up of just seeing the same character during your discovery tour, then you can just switch them up, to your choice. Okay, and then we have tours. This is all the tour you can actually do. So you have tour of Egypt, and here's a list of things you're gonna see. 4 stations mean how much stops you're gonna make, how much points of interest. So for this one, major regions of Egypt is going to be 4 stations. So they're going to take you to 4 different spots, and they're going to give you a brief description what they was about, what their purpose was for, and stuff like that. The good thing about it, you can just press square to fast travel, or you can come on the map and you can basically do like this, but then you might lost where you're at and what you want to do. So the blue ones are the ones that you haven't completed yet, while the gold ones with the check correct mark to them is the one that you probably has completed. Even on the map though, guys, you can press square and fast travel right to that location, but it's much easier if you just come and tour. For, let's say you just want to do the pyramids, you can just come. This one has 7 stations, this one has 20, this one has 4, and so forth. As you progress, you get something called passport. I'm not really sure what they for, what they do, and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we have timeline. You can choose between different timelines and stuff like that. So like I said, it's really a good thing, and I'm definitely encourage all the guys to check it out. I'll give you a few clips here and there of what I like and what was really interesting to me from a history standpoint. So guys, like when you do decide to start a tour, this is basically how it's gonna operate. Once you've completed one station, it's gonna have a tick to it, so you will know where you need to go, what you have completed and stuff like that. So estimated time, they say it's basically like 4 minutes, and it tells you about the mummies of ancient Egyptians and so forth. So let's just dive right into it, guys. So X, you start
Welcome to
tour.
Osiris, the first mummy.
Okay, and the narrator is going to give you well, he's going to do what he does, narrate, and he's going to tell every time you stop by a station, that's what I call them, he's going to narrate something for that location. So right up, it's the first station. Once you get close to it, he's going to narrate briefly with pictures and text of what is what happened. Oh, look right here, guys, a scorpion. Oh, look it right here. Oh, okay, back on topic. So yeah, let's check it out.
The oldest mummies recovered date from the Old Kingdom, though Egyptologists believe that mummification was in use much earlier than that. At first, the body was mummified through environmental desiccation, by leveraging the dryness of the environment and the heat of the climate. Early experimentations in mummification were conducted with the use of resin made from tree sap. Strips of linen were only used on some superficial parts of the epidermis of the hands or jaw.
Yeah, so like I was saying, guys, if you look to the top, it says early natural mummies, Osiris the first mummy, and underneath that it have stations. So this is the first one out of 6, and it's pretty straightforward, guys. You can just follow this little track, whatever you want to call them, right to the next station. You cannot get lost or anything.
Ideologically, the will to preserve the body is not explained in any way until 3600 BCE. This is when the Egyptian belief that the body housed the soul was finally documented for modern Egyptologists to eventually decipher.
You can just go to photo mode, like this, and you can just take a photo if you want to or not. Yeah, and you can upload it, etc. Yeah.
It was not until the arrival of the myth of Osiris in the Egyptian religion around the 5th dynasty that mummification was thoroughly conceptualized. The practice was thereafter grounded in both a mythological and ideological point of view.
Not to add, guys, that you don't really have to stop and listen to the narrator until he completes, and even if you turn off before he finishes, you're still gonna get the check that you visited that station. So that's a note to add. But I definitely think if you're really a history fan, if you're curious about ancient Egypt and what Ubisoft went through to create Assassin's Creed, just take your time and listen. When you had enough, you can go play the game, the story, if you haven't beat it, and then come back and so forth. But for me, definitely I'm going to take a look at all these to see more about ancient Egypt. See you, I'm out.
Welcome to Ancient Egyptian Medicine. Evidence of advanced medical procedures have been found on mummies, and ancient Egyptians left detailed medical writings from diagnosis to follow-up treatment. One of the oldest known surgical studies is the Edwin Smith Papyrus. It's one of the first documents in history that notes an association between the integrity of the brain and cognitive functions, including cases of ocular complications and paralysis following head trauma. Vinegar-treated marble stone from Memphis was used as an anesthetic. Another similar document, the Ebers Medical Papyrus, is over 20 meters long and 30 centimeters wide. It details treatments of 48 surgical cases, and contains 877 paragraphs describing various diseases. Alongside accurate and factual scientific approaches, the papyrus has more than 700 magic formulas and incantations to ward off demons and disease. This demonstrates how ancient Egyptians believed in a harmonious balance between religion and science. Remedies were considered as medicine and carried by doctors and priests. Village doctors often had another job alongside their medical duties and the preparation of medicines. A cure for blindness was made of fermented honey, ochre, and coal. The science behind it was that honey functioned as an antiseptic and antibacterial, while ochre would reduce the swelling. All of their knowledge did not always suffice. Ramses II died of an infection caused by an abscessed tooth.
Welcome to Domesticated Animals of Ancient Egypt. Agriculture and domesticated livestock were introduced 6,000 years ago. Archaeologists have found traces of cattle, donkeys, pigs, and dogs. Dromedary are thought to have been introduced during the Persian invasion. Pets were deeply cherished in ancient Egypt. Many illustrations of children often include a pet in the depiction. One of ancient Egypt's most iconic animals, the cat, wasn't adopted into their daily life until the Middle Kingdom. Since they were so highly capable of killing snakes and rodents, cats were present throughout every period. However, they only became pets sometime during the Middle Kingdom. Prince Thutmose, son of Amenhotep III, had his cat Tamu laid to rest in its own sarcophagi.
From its foundation, the city of Memphis favored worship of the god Ptah. The main temple of Ptah was known as Hutkaptah, meaning Palace of the Ka of Ptah. The name of the temple, translated into Greek as Aegyptos, would eventually evolve into the modern name Egypt. Temples were the center of religious, political, and economic life in ancient Egypt. These sacred places were viewed as the literal home of the gods and goddesses. As such, every aspect of them required care and reverence, all of which was accomplished through elaborate ritual. The Memphis Alabaster Sphinx was discovered in...
There you have it, guys, how history has now been implemented into our video games. Pretty cool, huh? Just sad that most gamers are not even gonna bother with this, and it's why I'm here to encourage you guys to just give it a look. They're bound to be a category that may pique your interest. Art, mummification, pyramid, medicines, dressing. Guys, come on. Okay? And I do hope that most developers do something as cool as this. That's all I have for now. But before I leave, I just want to give a blood clot holla to my boy K0 Wing and to my new friend Triple S. This is your boy TK20, the Caribbean Gamer. Thank you and me gone out here. Peace.